And finally, Steve Peters lobs this softball. If I'm in time for Please Hold, please ask Dave how many copies of Ghosts of Rabbit Hell includes a different version of the Dave Sim variant cover inside, sans the word of Rabbit Hell, and the Ghosts of Rabbit Hell Dave Sim variant cover is a color scan showing the blue line outline with the words of Rabbit Hell, signed by both of us on a dipped-in plate, limited to 30 copies. He'd like me to send along. I'm surprised I could do that all in one breath. And please tell him I'll send his check for the printing of the Akimbo Love and Rockets variant print together with the comics. And I got to tell you, Steve, if it's limited to 30 copies, I'm happy enough with one, or I'm happy enough with none, because that gets into the ultra rare thing that we're doing with Cerebus and Hell and with Akimbo and Nerudibus. I'm definitely uncomfortable at Aardvark Vanaheim having my own copies of any cover that's rare enough so that there's only 30 of them. So I tend not to take them. Maybe hang on to the proof copy. So I'll leave it up to you. 1 I would be happy with. 0 I would be happy with. Anything beyond that, there's going to be better uses for the only 30 copies. This ties in a little bit with the first day thing that we're going to be trying out on the Nerudibus Can 11 Kickstarter with the photo covers, the 3 photo covers of the cosplay girls. And it's experimenting really with how rare can we get this. And I'm assuming that a $30 cover price, and it's only available on the first day. Not sure how many copies we're going to sell, but we're going to sell very, very few. And then I have to come up with another way to see if we can come up with something where there's only 8 copies of this or 10 copies of this comic book. I figure that's what variant covers are for, and that's what variant covers and Kickstarter in my book are for. When you are down to your last 96 paying customers, this is a big part of what we're selling and what we're going to be selling in the future, as long as we can keep this going. So let's find what the absolute extreme is on it.
Well, I had a thought. It's one of them Matt thoughts that really, really shouldn't come out of my mouth, but I'll say it anyway. So, because I got all the pages of Nerudibus because you were sending me the scans, and I was shrinking them down so that they fit on the blog easier, because the scans were, the original art, huge scans that I share with Margaret, because if I don't, she'll come and find me and beat me up. But, because I've looked at it, I'm like, it's essentially an issue of Glamourpuss. Kind of. I mean, with the photorealism. And I'm like, what if you did it where it was the first, the base story of Nerudibus, cut out the favorite Naruto pages at the end, and then slotted in as many pages of Sodor as you got done, the most recent ones that would fill it up to be in like a 20 or 24 page book, and then print a version that's Glamourpuss number, whatever issue Glamourpuss would be on if it didn't get canceled at number 26. So it would be the Nerudibus Glamourpuss variant, where we're only printing these up for the Kickstarter, and that's it, conceivably someday in the future when Eddie gets that big movie check or something, so that Aardvark Vanaheim is flush with cash, and or the fifth administration where somebody with more brains than money has finally managed to get a hold of the company and has Elon Musk money, can do whatever they want, and goes back and slots and makes all the previous issues of Glamourpuss that don't exist. You know, it's one of them ideas I had, and I'm like, no, I shouldn't say that. No, screw it. I mean, worst that can happen is you print it up and everybody goes, so wait a minute, this is Glamourpuss number 207? Yeah, it's Glamourpuss 207. So where's all the... No, they don't exist. It's kind of like when Shannon Wheeler skipped 2 issues of Too Much Coffee Man because he just didn't want to draw them.
We are the arbitrators, and we are the ones to make those choices.
I mean,
yeah, I will take it under advisement.
Well, and the only reason I suggest it is because that way the newest pages that I'm sure are dynamite. I mean, when you send pictures of you holding stuff up and they're in the background, I have to take the big photo and shrink it down to fit on the blog. But then I go back to the big photo and I, enhance this, the backgrounds, and like, you really can't read what the pages say, but you can see the art. And I put them up so that Margaret doesn't have to squint at the small picture.
Right.
Because I know she's one of the people that'd be like, give those to me now. And it's, well, you got to wait, Margaret. He's not done yet.
Well, all of this is in the same category of cross my palm with silver. There's no question about it. I'm very, very enthusiastic about the fact that I had hoped, I'm coming up on the many deaths of Margaret Mitchell. I'm going to try drawing this. I hope I can actually draw this. I hope I'm able to compress all of the material into the space that I have allotted for it mentally. And I hope I'm able to keep going after that. And as of today, there's only 1 page left of the many deaths of Margaret Mitchell on the wall. And the rest of them are all recoil, which is the next section, which is, I'm very, very pleased with the way that it looks. If somebody wants to pay Cerebus Archive portfolio prices, which is, pretty much $10 a page, for the last 10 pages. Let's work backward and say, okay, Dave, I finished page 599 this morning. If you want pages 591 through 599, that's going to cost you $100. And, it'll just be sent in... not in a decorated stay flat. It'll just be a stay flat with your address on it. We could experiment with that, but I can pretty much guarantee as soon as you get 591 through 599, you're going to go, okay, I want 600 through 610. I want 580 through 590, and as soon as you get 580 through 589, you're going to go. Okay, I got to find out what's going on before this. We got a lot of interesting gaps here. The latest unlocked page at Jennifer's Strange Death of Alex Raymond GoFundMe page is I think 335 or 336. And the latest page done is 599. So, that has to be opened up as well. It's one of those, it really is a curse to be a fan of somebody as productive as I am.
Well, and, me being me, it's $10 a page for 10 pages, $100 US, and an extra $80 US if you would like 2 pages of commentary on any of those 10 pages.
No. Commentary, that's something else.
I was kidding.
We stop in the commentary. We don't. We comment on the CAN portfolios, and that's as often as I want to do that. I am living the dream right now, where I get up in the morning and I go to the drawing board and I work on Strange Death of Alex Raymond. And all of the other, I'm pretty much caught up on everything else. And I know how many things I'm committed for that, okay, I have to slot this in somewhere. But I am zealous on the idea of, I just want to do Strange Death of Alex Raymond. If I have to comment on Cerebus pages, which I do every 4 months or every 5 months for 4 pages, so that there's commentary in the CAN portfolios. That's part of the agreement on that. But commentary, I have absolutely no urge towards commentary at all. Exactly the opposite. The more commentary I have to do, the less happy a camper I am.
Or for $80 you get the commentary, and then when they get their packages, they open it up and it's page 591. That's a good one. Page 592. That's a good one. Page 593. Hey, that's a good one too.
I really like this one. Yes. Okay, looks like that'll do it for Please Hold for Dave Sim for May 2024.
And we had one. Well, 2 questions came in today, and I'm kicking them the next month. But one of them I'll give you real quick. Rich Lux emailed and said, "So when is the required by Canadian law French language edition of Service in Hell going to come out?"
Well, we don't have that in Canada. It's you have to have French on just about anything, and all government documents have to be translated into French. The biggest decision on that one would be, do I want it in French, like Parisian French, or Quebecois French, which was, I think, neatly summed up by a journalist who was visiting me from France years and years ago, and had just come from Quebec, and said he had to keep asking people, "Could you please talk to me in English?" Because they were just their French. He said it sounded like quack, 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 quack. And that was a horrible thing to do to the language of Molière, as far as he was concerned. So it would be a choice. I could either do Quebecois French or Parisian French.
So I forwarded the email to the Service in Hell team, and all I said on the forward was, "Does anybody know French?" I think I can count to 3, and that's spoken. Writing, I have nothing. And a couple of responses came through, and I was at work when the email came in on break, and I sent mine. And then I thought about it, I'm like, wait a minute. There's 24 pages in a Service in Hell issue. There's 4 panels per page on the standard setup. There's less. You do the math of 4 times 24, that's 96. There's less than 96 issues of Service in Hell. We could pull 1 panel from each issue and put them in, and then just translate those panels, and that would be the gag, because it would be, the first page would be the recap page from, I think, 0, of this is what happened, and now Service is dead. And then after that, it would be all the panels, and the captions would slowly but surely not be translations. They would just be someone complaining about having to do this in French.
Yeah.
And I started writing it in my head, so I emailed the team and said, if you guys get me 96 panels, I will do the translations, I will get this done, and we'll have another issue. I even have a cover in mind and everything. Like, And it's one of those, I really don't have time for this. But if someone else does the legwork of finding the panels, then it's just going, okay, you know, typing stuff up, putting it in Google Translate, and putting the response. And as Blair Kitchen taught us, sometimes it's right and sometimes it's not.
Yes. Yes. Like bringing up the Google Translate thing, it would probably be worth an issue of service in hell to take one panel and translate it from English into French, and then plug it back in and translate it from French back into English, and then plug it back in and translate it from English back into French, and just see what that panel looks like by the end of the issue. You talk about broken telephone.
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking. I'm like, I think I could make it really funny. The problem is everybody who buys the issue, like, oh, I don't know, Michael R., would be going to Google, typing in what is in the word box and getting the English and going, what?
Right. It's we're all playing in the same sandbox, and there's a reason that they call that kind of intelligence artificial. It's the most artificial intelligence on the planet. Okay, that'll do it for this time. Manly Matt Dow, say hi to Paula, say hi to Janice Pearl, Bullwinkle, Buddy, and Bonnie, and Clyde for me.
I will definitely do that. I closed the bedroom door and Clyde is on the other side staring at me.
I knew that. Have a good night, Matt.
You too, Dave. Take care.
Bye-bye.